Carlos Alcaraz faces his first challenge ahead of the Australian Open. In addition to the lack of time highlighted by Ferrero during Carlos Alcaraz's preseason, new adjustments have had to be made on the fly. My very bold prediction for 2025 is that either Carlos Alcaraz or Jannik Sinner will conquer the calendar Grand Slam. Former world number 1 Mats Wilander made this surprising prediction a few days ago when asked about who he saw winning the Grand Slams in 2025 and whether Alcaraz and Sinner would dominate the majors as they did in 2024. The two leading players of the new generation are in the spotlight alongside Novak Djokovic, who has meticulously prepared for the start of the year to reclaim his throne at the Grand Slam he has won most often, the Australian Open. To that end, he recently departed Thailand and is now heading to Brisbane, where he debuts early next week. Carlos Alcaraz has been following the plan he started 3 weeks ago when he began training after playing 2 exhibition matches in the United States. However, he has had to make new adjustments to the original schedule and is wrapping up his preparation at the Ferrero Tennis Academy with an unexpected sparring partner, the young Jordanian Abdullah Shelbay, one of the most promising players on the circuit and currently ranked 181st in the world at 21 years old. Criticism of an overloaded ATP schedule. Alcaraz is maximizing his practice sessions before traveling to Oceania next week. His coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero, recently mentioned in an interview with Punto Break that they lack sufficient preparation time. The difference, compared to the previous preseason, is that we have less time. Finishing so late, this is what we've got, the schedule is very tight. We'd love to have more time to better organize the breaks so Carlos arrives fresher at certain events, but since we can't change it, we adapt. Carlos came in with a lot of enthusiasm. The break did him a world of good, and the 2 exhibitions helped him get started. During the first week, we focused on physical adaptation along with some tests with Babolat and Nike for the shoes. The second week was more about volume, spending 3 hours on the court and doing more intense training sessions. Next week, we'll start incorporating point play, Ferrero noted regarding the current week, during which Alcaraz had originally scheduled specific sparring partners but ultimately had to make changes. This is a challenge he hopes will not prove decisive as he sets his sights on his first major goal of the year, the Australian Open, the only Grand Slam he hasn't won yet and where he has never advanced past the quarterfinals. Alcaraz is planned to be the perfect player by 2025 and fulfill a legend's prediction. The Spaniard is beginning an important year in which he has the chance to close the circle with a victory that would elevate him to the pinnacle of tennis, something Mats Wilander dares to predict. Carlos Alcaraz is a different kind of athlete. At just 21 years old, he has the honor of breaking numerous records that seemed unachievable in the world of tennis, particularly as part of the first generation to take over from the Big Three, the trio that defined a unique era in the sport. But, as if that weren't enough, he continues to smash records, with 2025 marked as a potentially definitive year for him. Despite his youth, Alcaraz already boasts 16 career titles. Among his greatest achievements are the 4 Grand Slam victories in his collection: Roland Garros, 2024, Wimbledon, 2023 and 2024, and the US Open, 2022. However, from another perspective, he's just 1 Grand Slam away from completing the set, the Australian Open. And in just a couple of weeks, he will have his big opportunity. Only 8 male players in history have managed to win all 4 majors: Fred Perry, Don Budge, Rod Laver, Roy Emerson, Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, and Novak Djokovic. It's an elite group, and joining it is one of Alcaraz's main objectives, as he knows that being part of such a select club is reserved for the greatest athletes in history. He also has an additional incentive: his age. To date, the youngest player to achieve the feat was Nadal, who accomplished it at 24. Now, the heir to the tennis throne has the chance to do it 3 years earlier. If Alcaraz wins in Australia, he will have completed the Grand Slam set at 21, something most players can only dream of and some spend their entire careers chasing. Australia has been the trickiest Grand Slam for Alcaraz to conquer. Last year, he had his best run yet, starting the tournament strong but faltering in the quarterfinals against Alexander Zverev, where he was eliminated. This year, however, he arrives more prepared, mature, and clear-minded about what it takes to make history. And he's not the only one who thinks so. In fact, others are even more confident in his potential. Many legends believe that Alcaraz has all the tools to dominate an era, though it remains to be proven on the court. The latest legend to place his faith in the Spaniard is Mats Wilander. The Swede, a former world number 1 and 7-time Grand Slam champion, never managed to complete the set himself, as he never won Wimbledon. However, he believes Alcaraz can go further. Speaking on his Eurosport program, Wilander predicted that this year could be spectacular for Alcaraz, a season of confirmation. My prediction, which may seem very bold, is that Carlos Alcaraz will win all 4 Grand Slams in 2025. Jannik Sinner could do it too, but I think the Spaniard will play better than ever in Australia, said the Swede with conviction. During the holiday season, Alcaraz is already focused on his next challenge. The Australian Open begins on January 6, with the final scheduled for January 26, where Alcaraz dreams of lifting the Champions Trophy in Melbourne. If he succeeds, he would become the youngest player ever to win all 4 Grand Slams, a first step toward achieving the ambitious prediction Wilander laid out. The player challenging Alcaraz and Sinner, I want to push them. The Italian and the Spaniard have proven to be considerably superior to the rest of the circuit, inspiring other players to challenge their dominance. At their peak, they are unbeatable. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have shown that their best tennis translates into complete dominance on the court, leaving only each other capable of disrupting that supremacy. The 4 Grand Slams of 2024 were split between them, 2 each, and at their highest level, they became the benchmarks every other player aspires to beat. The rivalry between the Spanish and Italian players has delivered spectacular matches and is expected to define tennis for years to come. However, other players are setting their sights on breaking their noticeable superiority. Flavio Cobolli, currently ranked 32 in the world, has expressed his clear desire to compete with both at their level. My main goal is to reach the level where I can trouble anyone. I want to close the gap that Sinner and Alcaraz have created and put them in difficult situations because I admire and respect them both a lot, the Italian stated in comments made to Uba Tennis. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, because here, at Tennis Zone, we are dedicated to bringing you the best content for the best audience. We provide in-depth analysis, exclusive interviews, and comprehensive coverage of everything related to the world of tennis. Join our community and be part of the excitement of the tournaments with us. Moreover, at Tennis Zone, we strive to deliver updated and high-quality content about players, tournaments, strategies, and the most relevant events in the world of tennis.